Hey guys, this is Ted. I'm just here today to start a new series, and it's on coding. And I want to keep it brief, I want to keep it to the point, and I want to show you how I code, how I've learned to code. It's been really tough, it's taken me a long time. I'm not the best coder, but I've learned a lot along the way. So today I want to give you 5 principles for coding. So this will be kind of like a coding 101. And the first of which is there's really no dogma. That's to say there's no teacher or authority that's infallible, that's going to have every answer, that's going to tell you everything you need to know, and that's going to be right all the time. I'm not going to be right all the time. Somebody else isn't going to be right all the time. That doesn't mean you can't trust people, but you really should listen to, learn from different sources, stay close to principles, but don't believe that because one person says something has to be done one way, that it really does. There are almost always multiple ways to accomplish a goal in coding. So that's first principle. Second one is don't worry too much about what hardware you have, what operating system you're using, whether you're using Mac OS or Windows or Linux. It really almost never matters in web development anymore what operating system you're on. You can virtualize just about everything. There's a bash shell now in Windows. Linux obviously has the terminal, which will be used on a lot of servers. Mac has a terminal. Really anything you have, just use what you have. Don't worry about going out and buying a $2,000, $3,000 MacBook right away. Just focus on coding and use what you have. The third is focus again on the principles and on the fundamentals. People are going to say, hey, check out this new framework, or check out this new language. Do this, do that. Here's a new fad. That kind of stuff's almost always going to hold you back. There always are going to be new trends. There always are going to be new frameworks, new ideas, new fads. Stay to the principles and the fundamentals. And that goes into the fourth one, which is learn your HTML, your CSS, and your JavaScript. If you learn those well, and that means understanding on a deep level the structure of each of those languages and understanding how to use them in the real world, that's going to take you 80% of the way. You'll be a great coder, not just on the front end, but on the back end if you understand the principles. So once you've gotten through HTML, CSS, JavaScript, that's when you pick a back-end language. So that could be JavaScript, so you don't have to learn a new language, and the framework you'd probably use would be Node.js. Or you could choose PHP, which is not the sexiest back-end language, but it's really popular through WordPress, and there's some great frameworks like Laravel. Again, it's not necessarily the hippest, but if you want to find a job, likely in your area, they are in need of PHP developers. There's also Python, which is great for machine learning. There's a great framework for Python called Django. And again, Ruby is a language that's no longer quite as popular as it once was, but there's a ton of Rails work out there, and you can be paid really well if you're a good Rails developer. So find a language that, quite frankly, you just like, that is fun for you to code in, and don't worry about what everyone else is saying. I would pay attention to what's needed in your area, what jobs are available. That's something to certainly keep in consideration. But just pick one that you really like and get good at it. Focus on it. And then my fifth, principle for you is take it slow and don't get discouraged. I was terrible when I started coding. I didn't know what I was doing. And I still am not the greatest coder, but you will get better. And if you allow yourself to fail, if you allow yourself to struggle and you don't get discouraged and you keep going forward and you believe in yourself and you work hard, you're going to be all right. And you're going to really become a good coder, but it takes time. And when I say time, you're not going to be a good coder in a month or 2 months or 6 months or even a year. It takes years. Anybody who says, do this boot camp or do this course, like you're going to be a great coder right away, that's not going to happen. Maybe you're a prodigy and you're 1 in a million, but for most people, it's going to take a long time, and that's okay. You got to have a long-term perspective. So again, those are my 5 principles. That's how I'm going to start this. And I'm just going to go forward with these little videos. I'm going to try to keep them short and sweet. And I'm going to just go into HTML. And we'll start there, give some principles. And again, it's not going to be comprehensive. But the goal of that is going to be, if you've gone through a couple of my videos, you could then begin to go into documentation and learn on your own. That's really the goal, is you want to be a self-learner. You want to get the principles, you want to get the structures and the understanding, but then you want to be able to learn on your own. And then I'm going to go into CSS, JavaScript, and then I'm going to choose a back-end language. Hope you liked it. Hope you guys have a good day. Talk to you next time.